Women are powerful creators. The Align Women podcast features female entrepreneurs, leaders, and other professional women who've demonstrated agency and innovation in their personal and professional lives. I'm your host, Amy Evans. I have authentic, intimate conversations with my guests that highlight their paths to success, their struggles and accomplishments, and the things that currently excite, motivate, and inspire them to turn their visions into reality. Welcome to the Align Women podcast. I'm Amy Evans, your host and the founder of Align Women, a leadership and networking organization for professional women. This podcast features entrepreneurs, leaders, and other professional women who've demonstrated agency and innovation in their personal and professional lives. With me today is a very good friend of mine, Nama Pozniak. She's the founder and CEO of A+ Insurance Services, which provides health insurance to individuals and families. She's also a tireless advocate for the insurance industry and currently serves as chair of the Health Underwriters Political Action Committee for the Los Angeles chapter of the National Association of Health Underwriters. In addition, she's also a fabulous speaker and a meditation coach and an advocate for meditation and mindfulness. Welcome to the podcast, Nama.
Thank you, Amy. Thank you. It's an honor for me to be here. And as I mentioned to you always, I love you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I want to jump into the questions because we have a lot of really interesting things to talk about. You are an advocate for mindfulness and meditation and yoga and wellness and all the things that fall under that wonderful umbrella. And I want to know, given the last year and a half that we have experienced with the pandemic and it is still ongoing, how has mindfulness, meditation, yoga helped you to navigate the challenges physically, mentally, and emotionally?
Wow, I took a deep breath for that. This is a huge one. And I don't think I would survive this pandemic without my personal practice. So the whole year and beyond, what I did is actually went deeper into my practice. I connected deeper and deeper into my mind, body, spirit. I meditate for longer. I practice yoga longer. I spend more time in quiet space, more time in stillness to make sure that I'm good. And then what happened, I was sharing more. So I had the ability and the possibility, I created the possibility to actually share. So I was leading meditation every day, and I was opening events with meditation and the board events and any gathering with meditation in so many industries. So that allowed me even spending more time in meditation and quiet space. And I think that that's the only way that I will be able to, again, of course, I went my ups and downs, and we all do have it. And I felt the pain. And of course, it was a difficult year for everyone, but I'm happier than ever. So, yeah.
I can attest to the fact that you are happier than ever and radiant as always. When you speak, and I've been to many events where you have spoken and opened up conferences and meetings with a few minutes of mindfulness, you encourage people to practice mindfulness as a wellness tool, not only for their emotional health and their spiritual health, but also for their physical health. And it's such a powerful practice. And, I engage in it as well. When you're speaking with people who don't have any experience in this realm and probably have some preconceived notions about how sort of woo-woo and out there things like meditation can be, where do you encourage people to start?
So we always start with ourselves. So we have to make sure that we are on this path in order to share it with others. So mindfulness and the conversation about mindfulness right now, it's a little bit overrated, I think, because being mindful is simple as just moving yourself into the present moment. It's just being in the present moment. And most of our anxiety is happening because we worried about the past and we worried about the future, and we are losing the present moment. And we are living in the age of AI technology. There's so much going on. The information is flowing and flowing and flowing. If we are not going to balance it, and we are not going to actually take steps towards like being mindful, I'm now in conversation with you. I'm very mindful about this conversation. When you speak, I listen, but I really listen. Are we really listening? When I drive, how many times we are on the freeway, we take a turn and we don't even know where we got to where we need to be. Or taking the shower, I didn't know if we shampoo our hair or not. I mean, this is happening all the time. And I think that as simple as just eating and putting your phone away and making sure that there's few minutes I'm now eating, and every bite you enjoy, and every it's the entire life energy is changing and moving within us, because we are more connected to ourselves. And for me, it's being closer and closer to my heart. So we start with the heart, we start connecting to the heart, and then we take baby steps. And I always say baby steps are huge steps, because we don't have to rush ourselves. There's no rush. And I think that this is also part of the wellness. When I see wellness programs and they're not working, and it's hard to implement, and it's hard to get the return on investment, or whatever the key result you are looking for as an employer, as a leader, as a mother, I don't care who you are. I mean, you are a leader. And I think especially us for women, that we wear so many hats. There is unlimited hats. We need to take it one step at a time. Baby step program. There's technology. There's simple reminder on your phone that you can just put few times a day, like a reminder. I need to breathe. Okay, one breath that you add to your day, extra to your day, can move you into a different energy, different leadership, different letting go. And we all know that we can come together in a different ways. And I think that that's a key, and I see it. And again, step by step. And I always say it's not a destination, it's a journey. And when we understand that every day we're showing up, we're doing the best we can, we bringing ourselves closer and closer to the present moment. That's, I think, that what mindfulness is all about. And sometimes we forget, because it's we're all on this journey together. So self-care, self-implementation, connecting to your heart, connecting to the idea that healing has the mind, body, spirit, and making sure that you are soft, and accepting the fact that some days are harder than others.
And you've mentioned a few times one of the great tools for achieving that, because in some ways that sounds like a challenge for someone who hasn't had that experience. How do I soften? How do I connect to the present moment? How do I connect to my heart? How do I open myself up to be more loving to the people around me, which makes me a better leader, a better listener, a better partner, a better parent? And you mentioned a few times breath. And I know that is such an important tool when you are leading even a few moments of meditation or mindfulness at the beginning of a meeting. Just sitting and closing my eyes and focusing on my breath for a few moments allows for that sense of expansion and softening. And it's such a beautiful tool that is available to everyone. And I think you and I have exchanged messages a little bit. I think it's no go out on a limb here. I think there's something to the fact that the pandemic is about taking away people's breath, and using breath as a tool to connect is really important now more than ever. Breathwork is a something near and dear to my heart, in that my husband facilitates breathwork sessions. And so I love that you show people how simple it can be, and how nourishing it can be to just stop for a moment and focus on your breath and take a deep breath. We so often breathe so shallowly, which keeps us from connecting to all the other parts of us that are right. Deeper and more meaningful. So I love that you do that.
Yeah, thank you so much. So as I mentioned, it's the first, and I always saying, and again, I'm repeating myself. I might repeat myself, but it's just do it. Do you remember the Nike slogan? It's just do it. You need to. It's a decision. It's a logical decision. It's just, it's not it's just an intelligent saying, okay, I am going to do it. I'm going to add more breath a day, because listen, we have an amazing Western medicine. Western medicine is really, we are very fortunate to be living in an area that we have the Western medicine. So I adore the Western medicine, but we forgot. So we moved from birth, we moved into conditioning. And this is also why the reason that I'm teaching the primordial sounds meditation, which is the mantra, and mantras are an instrument of the mind. When you are repeating the mantra, you're allowing yourself to quiet the mind. You have less thoughts, because an average person have a 60,000 thoughts per day. That alone can kill you. Mm-hmm. And then you're training your mind. The mind needs to be trained as any other part of our body. And in the Western medicine, when we pre-pandemic, you have 75% of people accessing emergency room, where as a result of stress and anxiety, and people were overwhelmed before the start of the pandemic. Mm-hmm. The pandemic met us, I like to say always, with our pants down, literally. When we weren't like, but we were already loaded. We were already all over the place. And I think that what we're going to see, and what I'm seeing now, and what we're going to see in the future, if we're not going to bring it to our meeting, to our clients, to our personal practice, to as part of healing, I think that we are missing on a big, big message. And this is a dream of mine, but I think that we can do it. And I think that together we remind each other, and as many as people as can join us and can start being on this process. And again, it's when I brought it to my employers, the groups, the employees, or when I'm bringing it for any organization, it's tough in the beginning. Mm-hmm. It takes time. You need to have patience. It's really very, as I said, very hard to measure. And I think that this is why when we continue doing it, continue introducing it, continue bringing the expert that will share the few minutes, the tools, the actual physical tools. It's not like I'm giving you an insurance policy and saying, okay, here it is. And that's why I really believe that we need to merging of the system, I call it a hybrid healthcare, making sure that we ourselves feeling good, and then our loved one is feeling good, and just sharing the love. And it's so important.
And you embody that, and you're such a wonderful advocate for that. I want to celebrate a few successes that I have watched you have that I think are so significant. We both work in the health insurance industry, which is at its best a little old, a little stodgy, a little traditional, a little behind the times, a lot masculine. And I've watched you advocate from the ground level to bring these tools into our meetings and then expand from there. And so from sort of local meetings, I know one thing that you did is you wrote a few courses for the California Department of Insurance that they offer for continuing education credit. And that's absolutely phenomenal to me. Tell me about those two courses and what they cover.
So I will start with a little story, because it's connected to this. So I was so young, and I was delivering the healthcare, and I saw in front of my eyes how people are, getting clarity, focusing, being more creative, compassion and empathy and equanimity and collaboration, and everything is happening. And I'm like, okay, how will I explain it? And I've been always very active in the health insurance industry. So I was on several boards and focus groups and advisory boards for the insurance company. And I used to tell them, this needs to happen. We can do that together, merging the system to allow ourselves to teach ourselves. We're going to lower costs. And they loved it, actually. They were okay with me because they know me and they know my personal practice, my personal story, especially, when people are close to you. I mean, they are accepting you, even though you are the woo-woo girl sometimes. So nothing. We didn't even have a white paper. Nothing. It was like nothing. There was no studies. There was nothing other than the East. When they, of course, in the East, when they practice it, they would say, "Oh, it's great. It's great. You need to have everybody." And this is why I'm obsessed about collaboration, because we do need to bring everybody to the table in order to explain what it is and how we can continue the conversation and how we can implement. And when I say everyone, I say that, of course, the health insurance industry, but other industry, the sages, the scientists, the AI, the cloud, the people that leading the technology. I mean, the people who are having solution together to understand how can we improve. So I went back and got my hat on, and I said, how can I really convince the insurance company that this is going to be a really amazing tool? And I said, oh my God, I can write a continuing education classes, and I will teach the people who are in leadership, people who lead the insurance companies, work for them, and broker community, the agent communities, everyone to actually use these tools. And it was a process because, I never wrote a CE class, and it was definitely a challenge. And I got a lot of support from the industry. And you forgot to mention one thing, that our industry is a very masculine energy of agency. So, and they are probably industry. So they are probably the hardest people to convince to move them into more of empathy and compassion, and talk to them about implementing some extra breath and meditation. And again, sometimes I don't even call it meditation. I call it spending time in quiet space, in stillness, in quiet space. So that was finally happened with a lot of support of actually some major leadership in our industry, in the health insurance industry. And I wrote the first class in 2015. It was reducing healthcare costs with yoga and meditation. And then the next one was meditation as a new way for wellness. And I'm teaching it now. Again, I don't have time to teach as much as I wish, but every possible opportunity. And I'm so happy to volunteer through the NAHU organization that I believe so much. And this organization actually helped me come closer to the vision that I have and my passion to lower cost in the healthcare industry and make people happier and just feeling better and breaking this harsh system that doesn't work for us. Because, even when Obamacare introduced the annual physical, it took years, and still 50% of the people are not taking the advantage of the annual physical, which is basic. But I'm talking about tools to be able to implement other way of treating ourselves, other way of thinking about healing and the process of healing. And it's, again, step by step and baby step. And once we come together, so you can be on and I fell off the wagon as well. It's sometimes you forget and you need a reminder. So for me, for example, I never stopped being a student. I never stopped learning. I never stopped listening. I never stopped, participating in retreats or somebody else leading meditation, somebody else leading classes, and I love it. And there's so many styles and so many, because people say, "Oh, I tried so many times. I said, there's no such a thing, in the yoga world, in the meditation world, there's a style for everyone. And it's just having patience with yourself and showing up. And then if your company, if your team is bringing it on, and you open the morning on Monday morning after a whole weekend, after you woke up in the morning and you didn't want to be there, and it's like a hard time, and there's so much going on at home, and there's we deal with change every day, every second. If once we thought that choosing a different cereal is a change, now we dealing with a major crisis in our life. I mean, all level, even the one that I can't even explain how amazing personally and how I found myself a silver lining in this pandemic. And although my life shut down like everyone, but I really made a lemonade out of it. And that's what I do usually in my life, is making lemonade out of lemons. So, yeah.
So I want to close by talking about another accomplishment that I had such a wonderful experience of it, because I knew how significant it was in general, and I knew how significant it was for you because I know you so well. And I still get emotional when I think about it, because I experienced just a little part of the joy that you must have felt. We had a National Association of Health Underwriters Capital Conference earlier this year. It was virtual, as so many conferences were, and you were able to secure Deepak Chopra as a keynote speaker. And that was such a phenomenal accomplishment for our industry, for you, to be able to spread some of this information, some of these ideas on such a national platform, again, to an industry that is not traditionally open to this sort of advanced thinking. And as you and I had talked about, he did a beautiful job of speaking to this industry. And so I want you to talk just a little bit about what that experience was like. How long ago did you conceive of the idea of having him speak at a national level to our industry? And what was the process like for you to confirm him as a speaker?
So this is so great. And this was one of my dreams, one of my goals, because I said, if I can bring him, I can, you can listen to what I'm listening and what I'm seeing. And I mean, it's different to hear it from someone that leads so many years in the industry, and he is a doctor himself. Mm-hmm. The traditional healthcare still have a lot of respect to the doctor when the doctor is saying everything. So can you imagine if the doctor starts saying practice yoga and meditation? And this is actually another dream, that the insurance industry, insurance companies will actually embed it in our coverage and will explain us how to do it. Because, again, wellness is not really working the way we want to. And even to give people app. Oh, here's the app. Okay, what am I doing? How am I doing? But we need to bring all the experts in the yoga and meditation world, the people who leads breath meditation retreats, the people who are, they understand, they actually focusing on the cheapest therapy on earth. I never come across any cheaper therapy than yoga and meditation. And again, I don't like to relate to people as to things as free. But meditation is free. So with Deepak, it was on the process. When I was on the process for looking for the data, the science, I was driving to because I relate to myself as a junkie, and I'm a yogi junkie. It's like really what happened in my life in the last 20-something years, and been traveling to India also and experiencing it there, which is on different level, and was looking for information while I learned how to meditate based on the Chopra primordial sounds meditation, but it was in a West LA apartment not even in the center. And I forgot that this was through the Chopra Center. And I was on my way I was there on the Yoga Journal hosted a big event in San Diego in 2013. And the keynote speaker was Deepak Chopra. I read his books and, I never actually met him in person. And I was there, it was Friday night, and he was promoting part of the book, the event was promoting his Superbrain, the book Superbrain, which is an amazing book. And it was 800 people, and I was last for him to sign on the book. So I was there. And he was so tired that night. He signed the book. He wouldn't even look at people. And I was kind of the last one, or maybe close to the last people in line. And I knew I have a 2-second span, and I said, first of all, I was shocked by what he showed. So he was actually showing that he's conducting now. He was in the middle of conducting the study about the meditation and how meditation can be reducing cost of care and the benefits of meditation. And the study was between the San Diego University, Mount Sinai Hospital in New York, and the Chopra Center and some other organizations. And I was shocked. I didn't even know what I'm going to hear. So when I had a 2-second span, I said, Deepak, I am Nama, and I am in the health insurance industry, and I'm trying to do I'm trying to implement the Eastern medicine into the insurance industry, and I know it's going to lower the cost of healthcare, and I need your help. I mean, it was like, and he looked at me, and he asked his assistant to bring a piece of paper, and he wrote me his personal email, and he said, anytime you need anything from me, I will help you. He said, you email me. And it's scary how, I never asked him for anything, but what I did during the year, I always shared with him where I am on the process and who is Nahu and what is to be an insurance agent and what is the environment of the insurance carrier and how can we influence and what's the benefits of him. I said, and every time I emailed him, I would get an email back in a matter of seconds from this man. It mind-blowing. So he's a big part of my process. And this is why I'm teaching now. I mean, I'm certified with the Chopra Global Chopra organization, and I'm part of the organization, and I'm teaching based on them the primordial sounds meditation, which I think changing life in people's mind, body, spirit, and the way we will deliver the healthcare. It will take time, but I have hope, and he knows who we are. So from day one, he said, you let me know when. But the industry wasn't ready. It took time. And again, it took time. It took a lot of work behind the scene on my end to convince people. And we need to have people in the right leadership. It also was the right time. And pandemic quickened everything. I never actually imagined that people would be so open. So I don't have the resistance. I feel like the resistance was, there's no, we lowered the resistance process, I think. So people are more open. They're not there yet. They're trying. And again, we need all of us, especially in the healthcare industry, wherever you are and whatever hat you wear, we need you to start practicing. Self-practice is going to change the world. And I think that our own health, we need to take our own health in our own hand. And he's a big part of why I'm also writing the book right now, because I feel that my clients started to ask me to write the book, and I'm in the middle of, and this is what also the pandemic did for me. I never thought I could actually write a book. English is not even my first language. And I think half in Hebrew and half in English, but I think that my life experience and my mission and my passion and really my wish to move the healthcare industry and bring all everyone can be involved, especially now I'm super involved with the artists. I mean, the artists are going to be a key for the future of healthcare. And just understand that we need to make sure, first of all, we all insured. I grew up in Israel. There's no if and but you have insurance. You were born, you have coverage. You have to have coverage. It's not even a question, it's simple. So I think that we are in the right direction. I think we are all moving into a healing process and to make sure we are not paying thousands of dollars a year for our cost of care. So,
right.
Yeah.
I had not heard all that story about how you originally connected with Deepak, and you are a force of nature. None of that surprises me at all, that you could harness the power of intention and eventually make that happen. So where can people reach you if they want to connect with you, follow you on social media, learn more about you, have ideas about how they can help you with your message?
Oh, of course. So first of all, I'm only a vessel. I want everyone to understand that, whoever is going to listen, I'm only a vessel. I mean, I'm not anyone's special, I mean, we are all on this ride together, and we need everyone needs to join and make sure we are on the same page and bring it to their team, their own life, the team, and the entire organization team, and our members. I mean, it's very important everywhere in all industries. You can reach out. It's very easy because I'm all across all social media. I'm Naama O. Pozniak, so you cannot get wrong with my handles. And email me personally. It's Naama, Naama @rightplan.com. Our website is rightplan.com. So that's what we share. We offer anything that you need to consult with me, and I will help anyone and especially women. I'm very close to a lot of women, and women are very close to my heart. And I treat every woman as a sister. And I think that we all should, as women, we have a power to bring together so much without feeling or dealing with competition. So it's just a blessing to be here and share everything with you guys today. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for being on the podcast today, Naama. It has been an absolute delight to have you. And look for more amazing women on more podcast episodes at alignwomenpodcast.com. Thanks. Thanks for listening to the Align Women Podcast. You can find more episodes with more amazing women at alignwomenpodcast.com. And visit alignwomen.org to learn more about our leadership and networking organization. This is Amy Evans, and you've been listening to the Align Women Podcast.